Hey, welcome back to the State House. This is week 10 of the legislative session, and we finished our floor action, and now we've been back into committee hearing Senate bills. So it has been fast and furious, a little bit of a slowdown this week, so we're busy answering a lot of emails and catching up on emails that we hadn't been able to answer before. I'm pretty excited. I had 3 bills that were passed off of the House floor. 2 of those were concerns for our 16 and 17-year-olds and getting them back to work in Washington State. It's been hard for them to get jobs, especially if they've been involved in vocational and technical programs. And I'm pleased to say that both of those bills have hearings already in the Senate, so I'm hopeful that those will get voted out. And then I had another bill that's going to really help some of our manufactured home communities. As you guys all know, I am a champion for housing in Washington State, so trying to find ways to increase affordability, it's been a #1 priority of mine since I've been here. That bill had a hearing this week as well in the Senate and is scheduled to be voted out hopefully at the end of this week. So we'll keep you guys posted if that bill is going to move forward for a vote on the Senate floor. And then the next step for those bills, if they make it that far, will be to the governor's desk for signature and then going into effect as law in Washington State. We had a town hall this last weekend, and we'd love to hopefully have another one at the end of session where we have a bigger venue where more people can come and be engaged. We had a lot of great questions. Some of them were just about the process, but we had other ones that were harder. But please know that we're always here to answer your questions, and please send us an email or stay engaged. We want to hear from our constituents. We want to be doing the best work that we can for the Tri-Cities while we're in Olympia. There were a number of bad bills this legislative session. About 1,250-ish were introduced this year just in the House alone. If you can imagine, that's a lot of bills for us to sort through. A certain amount of those made them to the House floor. I can say this year our leadership team did an amazing job of making sure some of those bad bills did die. And only 250-ish bills made it out of the House floor of those 1,200 plus that were introduced. That was the best rate of return that we had for killing bad bills in the 10 years that were presented to me. So we were really happy with the outcome and the fights that we had. Some of those bills that didn't make it out would have really hurt us in the public safety arena. There were some bills that would have hurt us in the housing arena, as well as other areas, especially when it comes to costing more and making grocery prices go up in the state of Washington. That being said, our revenue forecast just came out this last week on what we could anticipate for revenue in Washington State, and unfortunately that was a little bit grim. And there's a lot of new spending that's being proposed in Washington State right now, as well as a budget deficit that you've all been hearing about. I serve on the House Appropriations Committee. The Democrat majority have come out with a slew of new taxes. Those are all going to be hitting the books this week. We'll be taking a peek at what they're proposing. We do know some of them already. The Senate had a press conference this week where they're talking about imposing a wealth tax, which would be a tax on, think about gains on the stock market. I'm really hoping that that does not pass. Those are unrealized gains. Those are gains that are not seeing your pocketbook. There was also one that was called like a head tax. If you hire someone and they make more than a certain amount of money at their job, they would be taxed at a higher rate. And unfortunately, I don't think that incentivizes a lot of people to want to excel in their jobs if they know they're going to be taxed more by making more money from their employers. There's also some smaller taxes being proposed. There's some around cell phones, personal computer devices, anything over $250, doing an extra $2 tax on that. There's additional tax on liquor and nicotine that are also coming, as well as your hunting licenses. We're seeing a huge increase coming up to hunting licenses in Washington State right now. So we're going to continue to push for balancing the budget without new spending and new taxation on Washington's residents. And so stay tuned. We're moving into next week where the budgets will be coming out. We'll be taking a look at them line by line and making some recommendations to the majority party on things we think can be cut, maybe some duplicative programs, things that haven't been working for the state of Washington. to try to help with our deficit crisis. So looking forward to coming back and updating you next week after we see the budget and what it has in it. And then we'll be, heading back to the floor to vote on Senate bills as we start to wind down the legislative session. So thanks for watching along. Thanks for being engaged. Please keep sending emails. Please keep chiming in on bills. It does make a difference. We too try to answer emails as we get them when we can have time. And also love hearing from you.